in the PE class for 7 weeks, and then I'll actually be going to Glenn High School the 7 weeks after that for 7 weeks also.
That's awesome. Now, you're going to be a coach, right?
Yes, PE coach. My goal is to be at middle school, but I love just being active with kids. It's so much fun to me.
That's awesome. You know, right now our kids are being homeschooled, and as you're watching, and if you have kids, you know, I'm sure everybody's kind of taking their approach this school year, and things have been pretty wild and crazy. How's that affected you this spring and in the fall as you've gone through your student teaching?
Oh, it's definitely been interesting for sure. It's been virtually teaching my peers, which has been super whack. Like, I walked in my first day and I was like, wow, I get to see kids and teach kids this semester. So it's super exciting and it's fresh, and I get a semester to do it. So I'm super excited about it.
Well, I felt the need to bring that up because teachers, if you're watching, and even parents, y'all are MVPs. You guys are awesome. You guys are all-stars. We're so proud of everybody who's doing all that hard work to help our kids out. So thank you for your work with that. And also, hey, if you're watching with us for the first time, we just want to say that we're so glad that you've joined us. And we got a phone number that you can text and a key word.
Yeah.
Want to share that with us?
Yeah, for sure. You guys just text the word hello to 512-710-2323, and we'd love to send you guys a cup of coffee for you guys to go get and enjoy on us.
Yeah, let us get you a cup of coffee this morning, and for joining us. It's just, you know, our way to say thanks. So don't forget to text that number. Now we're going to pull up a QR code, all right?
That's right, and all you have to do is pull out your camera, hold it over the QR code, and it'll pull down a little link for you guys. Click the link, and it'll take you straight to our connection card where you can fill out prayer requests that our staff goes over every Monday, as well as a few other things, John.
Yeah, hey, help us stay connected. You know, that QR code that's up there for you to go to the connection card really is a great way just to stay in contact, to let us know what you're praying for. And like Brooke said, on Monday mornings, we pray over those things that you share with us, but also, like Brooke mentioned there are next steps. And it's a way for us to stay connected with you right now as you're connected with us virtually, to let us know how we can help you take a next step. I know we have baptisms coming up.
That's right. And one of the other things is you can sign up for volunteer opportunities, or what John and I were just talking about is you can update your address, because if you already go here, you forget, and you're like, I don't even need to pay attention to the connection card. And I was talking to John, I was like, I had to update my address, and I've lived in the same place for 4 years now.
Right.
So.
Like, you got to update that, right?
Right.
So if you've moved recently, that's a great way for you to do that, is through the connection card.
That's right.
Well, something really exciting. We have groups kicking off today. So it's time to make sure that you are getting in a group or even leading a group. So you can take a look at those things for more information on the app or on our website. And Brooke, now you've been in groups here at our church this past fall. You were in a group?
Sure. Yeah, for students, we have groups on Wednesday nights with our youth group takeover.
That's right.
But then I was also part of a young adults group last semester. It's actually been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Been great to make friends that are my age at our church, and it's just been really fun. So we're going to continue doing that. And so if you want more information, you can just go to rockpointchurch.com, or again, go on our app and you'll be able to find a list of groups.
Yeah, and that's a way to just make sure that you are connected in your circle of friends, or to find community. And I was in a group this fall. We went through Remedy with our church, and it was just a great way. We had a group where husbands and wives, men and women were in it, and then we would split at the end, and the guys would sit around and we would talk about the things from the lesson that we needed to work through. And so it was just a really great experience this past fall. So be sure to get in a group. And if there's really not a group in there that maybe you see, maybe it's time to lead a group. If you have a couple of neighbors or a coworker, now's a great time to do that. Let us help you do that. And like Brooke said, you can find that on the mobile app, or you can find that online.
That's right, John. And the next thing we have to talk about is our volunteer interest meetings. It's time for us to get up and start moving and helping each other, helping the church, helping people heal from life's hurts. And I believe we have a meeting coming up.
Yeah, we do. And that's coming up in Liberty Hill, and that's on the 31st of this month. And it's going to be at 4 p.m. at our Liberty Hill campus. So be sure to register your kids. If you have a kid, make sure to register them so we can make sure we're providing childcare for that. But like Brooke said, now's the time, as we are gathering back to meeting in person regularly, especially as we're trying to make that happen out in Liberty Hill. you are the key to helping make that happen. So if you have that date open on the 31st at 4 p.m. and man, if you want to jump in and serve and help lead, this is your chance to do that.
That's right. And just a reminder, that will be at our Liberty Hill campus.
All right. Well, hey, we have a great message for you this morning, and we're going to turn it over to Adam and the band. Check it out.
From wherever you are.
Walking the wayside, lost on a lonely road. I was chasing the high life, trying to satisfy my soul. All the lies I believed in left me crying like the rain. Then I saw lightning from heaven, and I've never been afraid. Sing it with us. I'm gonna climb a mountain, I'm gonna shout about it. I am a child of love. I found a world of freedom, I found a friend in Jesus. I am a child of love. I belong to you, yes I do. Nothing can separate. Nothing can change the way you love me. Nothing can change the way I belong to you, yes I do. Nothing can separate. I'm gonna climb a mountain. I am a child of love. I found the world of freedom. I am a child of love. I'm gonna climb a mountain. I'm gonna shout about it. I am a child of love. I found the world of freedom. I found a friend in Jesus. I am a child of love.
Amen. Good morning. So great to see everybody this morning.
Praise you when I'm overwhelmed. Praise you in my brokenness. Praise you so Praise you when I lost my way. Praise you when I'm so afraid. Praise you 'cause you never change who you are, who you are. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Praise you when I'm empty-handed. Praise you when I feel abandoned. Praise you 'cause I'm not alone. You see me, you see me. Praise you when the road is long. Praise you when my faith is gone. Praise you 'cause you hear the song I'm singing. I'm singing. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. I won't fear no evil. I know you are with me. Closer than I think you are. Closer than I think you are. Fighting all my battles, fighting every shadow. Closer than I think you are. Closer than I think you are. I won't fear no evil. I know you are with me. Closer than I think you are. Closer than I think you are. Fighting all my battles, fighting every shadow. Closer than I think you are. Closer than I think you are. Weeping may endure for the night. Joy comes in the morning. 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 The joy, yeah, it comes in the morning. I will fear no evil. I know you are with me. Closer than I think you are. Closer than I think you are. Fighting all my battles, fighting every shadow. Closer than I think you are. Closer than I think you are. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning.
Amen. Wherever you are this morning, I pray that that truth speaks to your heart as it has to mine. As we gear up for the message this morning, I pray that y'all would just feel something this morning, that God would use that to speak to your hearts. So find a comfy place if you're at home. Those here that are with us, if you'll have a seat and watch this video.
Well, good morning, Rock Point. How are y'all? If you're at home, thanks for joining us wherever you're at. Thank you for joining us. If you're, maybe just relaxing on the couch, thanks for hanging out with us. My name is Mario. If we haven't met, I'm the campus pastor out in Liberty Hill, and I'm so excited to get to share with you this morning. I'm going to pick up right where Shane left off, And Shane's done a really good job just telling us, if our money sat down with us and had a conversation with us, what would it tell us? I mean, I think there's a lot of thought that goes behind it. I think we can learn a lot from our money if it sat down and had a conversation with us. I think some of us would probably not like the things our money would tell us, right? So getting right back into it, if you didn't watch the last 2 weeks, please go back online, check it out. Listen to it while you're in your car. You can do that. You can watch it while you're at home with everyone else. But if you haven't watched, go back and listen to it, because real quick, I'm going to recap what Shane shared last week, kicking this series off. And it was this. You can keep this in your notes. It says, if money had a conversation with us, what would it say? And this is what we started with. I can add meaning to your life, but I'm not the meaning of life. Listen to that again. I can add meaning to your life, but I'm not the meaning of life. And that's what Shane shared with us last week. And so before we get started, I don't know how many of you have New Year's resolutions, okay? And I'm sorry if you do, but I got to tell you, there's a lot of time and effort that went into this. One of my friends baked this. Look at that. If you're at home, man, I'm sorry you're not in the room, because everyone in here is going to get a piece this morning. And if you're on a New Year's resolution, I'm sorry, but you're going to eat this. Just kidding. We're not going to do that. But check that out. I know when you put time and effort into something like this, you bake the cake, you put the frosting, and it's pretty stout. It's heavy, meaning there's a lot of substance to this chocolate cake. And this morning, the reason I show you this, and the reason I want to share this with you, is because it's not because we're talking about food, but what we're talking about goes so well with this and money. And it's two words, and I don't have this in your notes, but we'll get to it in a second. But it's these two words. It's self-control. Self-control. And I think it's funny that we can talk about self-control when it comes to food and some of the things that we're working on, but when it comes to money, I think somehow we don't even want to play that game. We don't want to go, I can have self-control here because you know what? I'm not gonna look at this. I'm gonna stay away from it. But when we, take our wallet out and we have the money, and you just go to check out right at HEB, and there's those little snacks, they call them impulse buys. Or maybe you just go straight to the sporting goods store and you go, I don't need a pair of shoes, but I'm going to buy me a pair of shoes. You know what? I don't need new golf clubs, but I'm going to buy me a new set of golf clubs. I don't need this or that, but we go and we separate self-control from our finances. But when it comes to things like this, we go, you know what? I could have just a little bit of it, right? I can just cut me off a little bit of a piece of that. But what's funny too about this is that the time and effort that got put into this, we can deny this, but the time and effort that goes into this sometimes, and we say, I work, so I deserve this. But for some reason, we have this issue of self-control with money. And it's not about the money, the amount of money that we make, right? I don't think that's the pressure. It's what we do with it. It's the same thing with this. We can bake it, we put it aside, but it's what we do with the money that we make. It's not how much we make, it's what we do with it. I think that's where the pressure comes from. And I think we say things like this. So if we sat down with money, we would tell money, if only I had more money. So if only I had more money, you know what? My dreams would come true. Whatever you would like to do, and you put it down, you go, you know what? If money wasn't the case, what would you do? And we go, you know what? So money's connected to my dreams. No, it's not. I think we say that. Those are the things that we say as people. But then money would tell us this, and this is our first fill in the blank today. Money would tell us this if we had a conversation. Your self-control determines which one of us gets control. Your self-control determines which of us gets control. So your money is saying, hey, your self-control is going to figure out, it's going to tell us which one of us is the master, which one of us is the boss of your life. And I think when it comes to this, we can go, hey, again, I can walk away. You know what? I'm not going to order dessert. Take the dessert menu away. But when it comes to having cash in your pocket, or you get your card out and you go, you know what? Hey, I got it. I'm going to buy this. For some reason, we separate self-control from our finances. And this is where faith, and I believe that, our faith and our finances meet head on. But again, money's saying, if only you had more self-control. And again, it tells us why, because it's determining who's the boss. Your money's saying, hey, we're going to determine who the boss is by your self-control. And I got to tell you a sad story of self-control. When I was in college, for some reason, the bank was pretty rude to me when it came to self-control. I went, and I'll tell you where I was. It was in Midland, Texas, Midland Drive and Loop 250. I'll never forget this day. man, I went to get some money out of the bank, and I had this thing called overdraft protection, and I figured out how it worked as a college student. Put my card in there. It was late that evening, needed some gas, was heading home. Put my card in there, and they didn't give me my card back. I was like, what? And I was like, hey, I can't. I'm on E. I'm on empty, and I got to make it the rest of the week. And it didn't give me my card back. I had no self-control. My money was telling me where to go. Now it was telling me, hey, you can't have this back because you don't know how to control what you're doing. And I'm telling you who the master is. You're not telling money what to do. It's money's telling you what to do. And I was so upset. I was embarrassed, and I realized, oh, you know what? You can't take money out and continue to take money out and then go and try to do it again because there's not an endless supply of it. But money was telling me what to do, and that's what we want to try to get away from, and it starts with self-control. So again, this is where faith and finances just meet head on. And it's always tough to talk about money, but I want us to learn something about the attitude of our heart towards money and towards life. And so we're going to start with Galatians 5:16, and this is, again, where Paul shares with us this, and I'm just going to read the first part. It says, so I say, walk by the Spirit. So I say, walk by the Spirit. Now, this just means being in tune with God, in sync with God, listening. And as we get older, it's this conversation of what's your conscience telling you. My conscience is, and as you get older, right, there's things that kind of bother you more that didn't bother you when you were younger. It's because you're learning to walk with God, and God's going, hey, help this person here, help that person here. Well, again, that's what Paul means is when he says walk by faith, or, walk by the Spirit. He's saying, you know what, when you're walking by the Spirit, it means being in tune with God with what he's telling you. And so when it comes to our relationship with God and finances, he's saying, walk by the Spirit. Well, what's the Spirit? Well, if you know what the fruit of the Spirits are, awesome. If you don't, let me recap those for you. It's this. It's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and then check this, gentleness, and then this, here we go, self-control. Self-control. Why did he throw self-control in there? Why did he throw that last little piece in there? And I'll tell you this, because we're a church that helps people heal from life's hurts, there's this thing called addiction, temptation. And he threw self-control in there because he didn't want you to live a life of things being pulling you towards them and saying, you know what, you're going to be addicted to this. You're going to be stuck in this. He didn't want you to have this appetite for things and not know how to control yourself, right? Because if we didn't have self-control, then you know what? This would be gone by now. We'd passed it out already, and we would have been telling people at home, sorry, you missed out on a great cake. But here's the thing. He told you, self-control. And I'll stop real quick. If you're at home or you're here in the room, I got to tell you, on Monday nights, tomorrow, we start a Remedy. And Remedy is our support groups that meet in this building. And they're going to have them online, I believe, as well. But it's Remedy. It's a program that helps you, get healing from life's hurts. And self-control, again, is telling you, I need you to remove the appetite of things that are grabbing your heart towards something and going, it's unhealthy. So Matthew, again, in 6:24, let's go to Matthew 6:24. And at the end of the parable, Shane shared this with us last week. So at the end of that parable that Shane shared with us last week, this is the way that he ends this parable. He says, no one can serve two masters. So we start with Paul saying, walk in the Spirit. And here's the Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit, which is self-control. And then we go back to last week, and in Matthew 6:24, he says, no one can serve two masters. And if we stop right there, you go, you know what, Mario, who even used the word? Who uses the word masters nowadays? Who says that they serve a master? Well, that's not what he's trying to get to. Let's finish to what he says. He says this, no one can serve two masters. You cannot serve what? Who? Both God and money. You cannot serve both God and money. And when we get down right to it, God was not just saying, you know what, this is your master. No, he's saying the things that you go and purchase with that, it's that appetite for going, you know what, yeah, something's wrong in my day, so I'm going to go purchase something to make me feel better. That's that master feeling of going, I need to go buy something. I want this. The PS5 came out, and I'm going to keep hitting refresh till it comes online, and I'm going to try to purchase it. Believe me, again, these things are things that we go, hey, that appetite for something, he's going, you got to have self-control. And he says, you can't serve both God and money. You can't serve these things that you want. He said, there's this pursuit of wealth that can roll over into something negative. And so all this is about to be tied together for us, okay? But I need to remind you that God took this conversation about money very serious. He taught things 2,000 years ago through Jesus, and he's still challenging us today in this. And that's why we have to ask ourselves this question, and it's in your notes as well. Do you have money, or does money have you? Do you have money, or does money have you? And I'm not saying how much money do you have in your wallet right now. I'm saying who has a hold of who right now? Who is serving who? Because I've been there, man, where you go, hey, I have this much money, and it's burning a hole in my pocket. It's what we say. Why? Because you want to go spend it. So do you have money, or does money have you? And some of us may say, you know what, Mario, I don't have enough money to even have this conversation. And that's where I need to pause, because here's what's key. It's that type of attitude of going, you know what, I don't have enough money, but if I did, here's the thing. That attitude leads to an appetite of I want more. If I had more, then we could have this conversation. No, because that attitude of having more brings an appetite of, guess what, when I do have more, I'm just going to go get more stuff. So God goes back to the heart of things going, self-control. Walk by the spirit of self-control. It's a heart issue. It's not a money issue. It's a heart issue. It'd be the same thing if we were talking about food or alcohol, right? It's a matter of the heart, and God's saying we're talking about self-control. So Mario, I know we can't serve two masters. I know I can't allow money to tell me where to go. So what do we do with this? How can we move forward? And I think that's a great question. And this was probably the toughest part for me. This was probably the toughest part for me to write this down, but it was so true. When Shane and I talked, I think this is so true. Listen to this statement. It's much easier to trust Jesus with our sin and eternity than it is with our money. It is so much easier to go, God, I've trusted you in these times of loneliness, but when it comes to what I have here and I need to go get some, retail therapy, please, don't take this away, but please help me with loneliness. You know what, God? I know he's sick or she's sick, but you know what? Here's some of the things that I'm really looking after, and I need to purchase this stuff. So you know what? Don't touch my money. Jesus, I can trust you with this issue of cake, but I don't want to trust you with this stuff that made me purchase the cake. And we have this mentality of going, I'm going to separate my finances from my faith. And then we separate our attitude of walking in the Spirit from our money, and we deal with this stuff and not that stuff. And God's going, hey, it's the same thing. Man, and here's what's funny is you and I, when we see someone else doing some crazy things with this, what do? We speak into their lives. Because it's easy to do this from the outside going, what are you doing? I have an 11-year-old daughter that as soon as she makes some money, hey, can I log on and spend some money on Roblox? If you don't have any young kids or grandkids, I'm sorry, but man, everything is online and it's Roblox. They build this, they play these games. And I'm like, and what do I say from the outside? Someone who loves shoes, someone who loves sports and loves video games and playing games, someone from the outside tells my daughter, why are you spending money on that? Save some of it so you can use it later. Well, what if she turned around and told me the same thing, right? What happens is it's that attitude that we see in other people's lives, but when it comes to us, we separate that. And God's going, no, it's self-control for everyone. We need to teach you that. And so what's the answer to all this? What is the answer to trusting God with our money, our finances, just like we do with eternity? And I believe it's this. I believe you can sum this up in one word: priorities. Priorities. It's the issue of priorities. Where do you rank things when it comes into your life? And I believe Jesus, he met this head on when he talked to people about finances, and he talks about priorities. Jesus says, and he gets right to the point that if you want to move past being driven by your appetites, right? If you want to move past that, if you want to start making progress in your life and processing through temptation, he says you got to know where your priorities stand. And I believe he says this in Matthew 6:33. When you tie all this together, he says this: but seek first his kingdom. Jesus could have said my kingdom, but he says seek first his kingdom, and he's talking about his Father. And I know we can just say, okay, Mario, you're telling me to seek first his kingdom. I've heard that. So what am I supposed to do? When I sit down with a piece of cake, somebody gets dessert, my friend, brings all this dessert out. Do I just say, hey guys, I'm seeking first his kingdom? No, you don't have to say that. When I have all this money in my bank account, when I first get paid, what do? I say seek first his kingdom? Not so much as the attitude that you do it with. And so what does that look fleshed out? How do we do that? It means taking the attitude and the heart. The attitude and the heart, listen to this, taking the attitude and the heart towards money and other things and going, this is how I'm going to live. Taking the attitude and heart of Jesus towards those areas of my life. And what is that? It means putting yourself at the back of the line and putting others first. Man, I'll never forget that story of the creator of the world. Think about that. The creator of every single thing that we see. And some of his followers are going, hey, I'm second in line. No, I am. No, I am. No, I am. Can you imagine? You know when you're driving down the car and you just get on the road for a 5 or 7 hour trip? I don't recommend that with kids that are under the age of 10, maybe under the age of 17. But here's what's going on. You just get on the road and then there's bickering. You're going, oh my gosh, we just got on the road. Can you guys pipe down? And then you go, hey, babe, can you please handle it? She's like, why do I have to handle it? Well, Jesus is walking and they start to bicker about who is next in line. The creator of the world stops and he goes, okay, hey guys, are we really having this conversation about who's going to take over when I'm gone? And he tells them, if you want to be first, you need to put yourself at the back of the line. And then he goes, before he gives his life for these guys, what does he do? He kneels before them, the guys that were just arguing, and he washes their feet. The creator of the world kneels down and he washes their feet. And that is the heartbeat of Jesus, to go serve others. It's a heart and attitude issue when it comes to finances and things in our lives. And he's going, take it to that extreme, serve others with this type of mentality. And so we have to remember that Jesus says this: when we put us first, we come in last. When we put us first, we come in last. And so what, again, God's trying to do is to go, hey, regardless, see if I can do this without dropping. If not, we got it on camera. If he's trying to go, hey, quit trying to separate everything, compartmentalizing everything, and put it all together and go, hey, I need self-control in my life. Not just with this and that. No, self-control meaning everything that I have. It's just like, let's go back to the cake. I don't know how many people we have here at home. I'd say, hey, come drive up. I'm going to cut you a piece of cake and I'm going to give you a piece of cake. I'm going to cut and put myself at the back rather than us going, hey, what is he going to do with that cake? Hey, I wonder if I can get some. Hey, what's actually in that cake? Is it real? What flavor's in there? You're asking all these questions because what? We want me, me, me. And he's going, when you put yourself first, you know what? You lose. So put others first is what Jesus is trying to challenge us with. It's the same thing with our finances. So we get it, right? We get it. He wants us to have an attitude of Jesus, this attitude of continuing to put others first. And if we can just put it in a practical way, here it is for you guys. It's this. It's me first living. If we want to say, hey, it's all about me, it's this. It's live, save, and then give. Let me live it up right now. Let me get what I have. With all the money that I make, it's already spent as soon as, you know what, I know I want this, so as soon as you get paid, you don't discuss anything with your family. You go right out and you purchase things. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, you're going, hey, I can't wait till we get paid because we have no groceries. And that's how an average person lives in the United States, because we spend, and we forget about others. And so a practical way that you and I think you've heard this before, but a practical way that you and I can maybe process this whole talk is this way. Seek first living, meaning seek first his kingdom. And what does that look like? It means give, save, and then live. Meaning give, meaning put yourself in a place where you go, I'm going to think about others first. Where do I need to give? What if you see a neighbor? One of the hardest things for me in life is to go, I see someone in need. Me and my wife had this conversation plenty of times, is going, I wish I could help more. Well, then go look at what you've spent your money on and look at where the priorities are. Man, you've gone out to eat this many times. Man, you spent this. And then when we look at our neighbors who need help or someone that needs help, and I wish I could do this. I wish I could send this person to camp. or help with this. And God's going, you can, but your priorities are backwards. You're live saving and then giving rather than give, save, and live. And that's what he's trying to cut to in our hearts to go, man, it's an attitude of the heart about everything, not just finances. It's about everything. Put others first. So think about it. Write this down. Telling your money to go somewhere is proof your money is not in charge. Telling your money to go is proof that it's not in charge. Meaning, hey, you know what? We just came back from a disaster relief trip this weekend. There's plenty to do in Louisiana. Man, I was blown away that all this focus went, and it's sad as a country, that all this focus went to all this other stuff, and you have people living in homes where their houses are still tarped off, so when it rains, it still comes in, and things are going down in Louisiana. People are helping them, but there's not enough help to get those people back on their feet. And it was sad to me to go, man, we need to put our efforts here rather than here. And God's going, a great example is when you say, hey, money, go help this person. Hey, money, go do this. Hey, money, this person needs this. And so God's going, that is an example of that whole give, save, and then live. You're telling your money where to go. So if we can get this right, listen, if we can get this part right, if we can understand the attitude of putting others first, it's not just a money issue. It's not just a cake issue. It's an attitude of our lives where we look at the lens of our lives to go, whether it's finances, whether it's temptations, whether it's these appetites, God's going, if you put the lens on of serving others first, anything that comes your way, you go, hey, I'm living by the Spirit. And it's putting others first. And that's not an easy thing to do. And you saw the way it ended in Jesus' life. He put others first. And that's what he's calling us to do, not just with our finances. And so I'm all about practical steps. Like, how can I help you this week to do this other way, others first living? And here it is. It's just choose a percentage of your income that you'll give away as soon as you get paid. Choose a percent of income that you're going to give away. If you're a meal prepper, this is it. I don't meal prep. I promise you, man, I wish I could. But I'm like, you know how much time that takes? I'd eat all the food before I got to prep it for the week. But here's the thing. If you're a meal prepper, it's the same thing. As soon as that money comes in the account, already have a plan. If you're a planner and a scheduler, man, I like things out 30, 60, 90. I love looking at my calendar. Where if you're that type of person, guess what? It's the same thing. Before you get paid, have it planned out. Here's the first part that's going to go to this person. Or have a plan for it. Take the cash out and say, hey, we're going to give this away to some random person at H-E-B. We're going to pay for their groceries. Go do it and see what happens to your heart. See what happens, because that's the first step, right? But the second step is paying attention to the tension that creates. It's just like when I opened this. Some of you maybe had those questions of, are we going to get to eat that? What kind of flavor is that? Is that a real cake? Is it homemade? How much time? Pay attention to the tension that it creates in your life when you go, this money is going to be given away to someone. Don't know whether it's your tithe, whether it's an organization, a nonprofit, or again, whether you go just to H-E-B and say, man, this is going to be fun. Pay attention to the tension that it creates when you go, it's leaving my hands and it's helping someone else. Because I think that's the attitude of Jesus when it's so crazy to think of him dying on a cross going, this is what it means to give everything for that person. It's that same feeling of, again, being able to put others first. And in closing, I'll give you this last one, and it says this. I want to remind you that if we had this chat with our money, if we had this talk with our money, money would say, I'm a better servant than a master. I am a better servant than a master. You tell me where to go. You tell me where to go, and I'll make it happen. Don't get caught at an ATM machine without your ATM card anymore. You're going, what? Yeah, you're at the bottom, and money's going, I've got you. I've got you. And that may not happen anymore, but you know in your mind you're not keeping a track of where it's going, and you're going, it has a hold of me. It has a hold of me. And Jesus is going, you have control you have control to make some changes. Put others first this next round, and I'll take care of you. And so in closing, I just want you to know that this church isn't about needing your money. I think what we're trying to challenge you is don't allow your money to have you. Don't allow the cake to have you. Don't allow this temptation to have you. Don't allow this attitude of me to have you. Because when that has you, anything, it's just money. Finance is just one of those things that has you. It starts with self-control. And Jesus was so clear the way he said this at the end. And remember, it's for followers as well. Judas followed Jesus. And Judas, again, the creator of the world, was handed over because of what? Because of money. And Jesus, please don't miss this. Listen to this. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. Listen to this. You cannot serve both God and money. And if you're just hearing the word money over and over again, let me challenge you. Step into that and think about the attitude. Not money, the attitude of what's coming out, because it's just the object that money's coming to your mind. It can be anything else. And God's just saying, please, let's talk about the attitude of your heart and walking in self-control. So please continue to come for the next couple weeks as we discuss this issue of straight out of money, what we can take out of money. If you're at home, man, thanks for joining me. But this week, I know it's a big challenge. Anytime we talk about money, it's a big challenge. And it can get a little crazy just trying to discuss this. But remember, self-control and priorities will lead to you going, hey, I'm going to tell my money where to go. Let me pray with you. God, thank you for this morning. Thank you for just allowing us to have this discussion. And God, I pray for anyone first, right off the bat, God, that has maybe this complex about talking about money because it's maybe the attitude and maybe the issue is money's telling them where to go. God, I pray for that person. I pray for the people that are struggling, the families that are struggling with money. God, I pray that those of us that have enough, that have maybe turned our eyes towards something else instead of the people in need, that you would challenge our hearts to help those families. God, I know the struggle is tough sometimes when we go, hey, what do you want me to give? So God, I'm just asking for everyone watching, everyone here, that what you call us to, God, that we would take that step in faith and say, it's not going to have control over me, that I'm going to give where I need to give. God, and ultimately, again, thank you for Jesus and what he did, the ultimate sacrifice of giving everything up to come to earth, live in a human form, and then give his life up for us. God, help us to learn that attitude of others first by looking at the example that Jesus made. God, I pray this week for everyone that's going to take this challenge of just putting the percentage first to help others. God, we love you. We thank you, God, and I ask that we would trust you with what you've given us. And it's in your name I pray.
Amen. Why don't y'all stand and join us?
You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies till all my fears are gone. And I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God, and I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has called my name. I've been born again into your family. Your blood flows through my veins, and I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. You drowned my fears in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. You drowned my fears in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. I am a child of God. Yes, I am a child of God. I am a child of God. And I'm no longer a slave to fear. Sing it out. I am a child of God. And I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. Amen.
Well, what a great service, and we are so glad that you were with us. If you connected with today's service, we're going to bring up our connection card.
That's right. A QR code is going to pop up on the screen. And again, all you have to do is pull out your phone, go to your camera app, and go over the QR code, and then it's going to take you straight to the connection card. We have some more next steps for you.
Yeah, hey, stay connected. Let us know how we can help serve you as a church and help you take next steps. There's a list of next steps there. Take a look at those, and let's talk a little bit about those next steps.
That's right. We have baptisms on there, Takeover, which is our youth group that happens on Wednesday nights. You can attend or serve. And then we also have groups happening, all kinds of things.
Volunteer opportunities.
That's right.
Take a look at that. And there you can also share prayer requests, things that you're praying for. And as a staff on Monday mornings, we pray with you and for you when you share those with us. So thanks for taking some time to fill out your connection card. Well, if you're here and you're prepared to give this morning, we're going to bring up a QR code, and it's a real easy way for you to give. And so thank you so much for your generosity and just, man, mobilizing the ministries here at Rock Point Church. It's awesome to be a part of a generous church. So thank you for that.
That's right. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is groups. Groups are starting today, and then our support groups are starting tomorrow. And John, what are some of our support groups that are starting tomorrow?
Yeah, so on Monday nights at 6:30 at our Leander campus, we're going to have our Remedy group, which is, I mean, all of these groups really are right in line with our mission of helping people heal from life's hurts. And the truth is, man, these are great groups for all of us to take. And we have Remedy happening. We have divorce care happening. And we also have grief share happening. So if you find yourself just really going through maybe any of those things, as I kind of said the names of those, take a look at that, or we can help you get more information. You can find out more information on our mobile app or online. And then, as Brooke was saying, groups are also kicking off. So Monday nights we have support groups, but then we have groups happening.
That's right. John and I were both in a group, not together, separate groups this last semester for the past few years, actually.
Yep.
But they happen all different nights of the week. Like ours was on Sundays. I think John's
Ours was on Thursdays.
Yeah, John's was on Thursdays. We have Wednesday night. There's one for everybody.
Students
every
have
night.
groups on Wednesday nights. So if you have a student, and have them check out one of our takeovers happening in Leander and in Liberty Hill at 6:30 to 7:30 on Wednesday nights.
That's right. And then speaking of people heal from life's hurts, we have some opportunities for you guys to help us open back up the churches on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, so we have a volunteer interest meeting happening in Liberty Hill on the 31st of this month.
That's right. It's happening at 4 p.m. And all we need you to do is, if you're going to bring your child, then register your kids so we can be ready for them.
And just recently, Shane was sharing with us the direction for our church as we're heading into 2021. And we are in opening up our church in person here in Leander, but we also want to get to Liberty Hill. And the truth is, man, you are the key to helping make that happen. And so, man, take a second, think a little bit about where you are and how maybe you can join in mission and utilize, your gifts and talents to helping serve and lead in the church. You can find out information by taking a look at what's happening on your calendar on the 31st and being out in Liberty Hill at 4 o'clock.
That's right. So if you want more information, again, you can go rockpointchurch.com or our mobile app.
Well, hey, now's the time where we are getting ready to head to our family experience. So if you have kids in your house, you're going to want to gather them up. We have a fun one for you. So thanks so much for being with us. Y'all have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Michaela Wells.
And my name is John Evans, and welcome to the Family Experience. This month, we're focusing on the rules for life, and what we're talking about is playing well and finishing strong.
Yeah, that's right. And today we're here at Veterans Park behind the Leander Library. So let's have some fun and go check this place out.
Let's go.
It's easy to look at the glass as half empty, just like this glass of sweet tea. That means that we can always see the things that we don't have. But here's the challenge, to work on seeing your glass as half full. And that's our bottom line for this week, is to make the most of what you've been given.
Have you ever heard the saying, glass half empty or glass half full? Well, part of playing well and finishing strong is looking to Jesus to help you see your glass half full, which means he's given you so much in your life to be thankful for. When you see Jesus in your life, your glass is even more than halfway full, and at times it can be overflowing, like if you pour too much soda in your cup. So today, remember, make the most of what you've been given. All right, now we're gonna sing a song.
That's right, kids. Stand up and show us your best dance moves.
You never turn away, you never leave my side. And every time I call your name out just to find that you're already right here with me, never been alone. I can trust you with my heart, 'cause this I know. You are always faithful, you love me from the start. No matter what I'm facing, I will trust you with my heart. Trust you with my heart. There are days when I feel I need a friend, and then I hear your voice reminding me again that you're already right here with me, never been alone. I can trust you with my heart, 'cause this I know. You are always faithful, you love me from the start. No matter what I'm facing, I will trust you with my heart. You are more than able to lead me through the dark. Your love is never failing, I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, whoa, I will trust you with my heart. No matter what may come, no matter what I go through, God, you are never gonna fail me. I will trust you with my heart. No matter what may come, no matter what I go through, God, you are never gonna fail me. I will trust you with my heart. You are always faithful. You love me from the start. No matter what I'm facing, I will trust you with my heart. Yeah. You are more than able to lead me through the dark. Your love is never failing. I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, whoa. I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, whoa. I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, whoa. I will trust you with my heart.
When we spend time together with our family, our brothers and sisters, and even our friends, we can see the things that they have and want the things that we don't have and become jealous or even frustrated. And when we do this, we miss the opportunity to make the most of what we have and to be thankful for what God has given us.
So that is the challenge this week. Take a minute and think about your life and the many blessings that God has given you. And when you do this, you can see what you have and make the most of it. Check out this Bible story about what happens when we waste what we've been given or make the most of it.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verses 14 through 30.
When Jesus wanted to share truth with the people that followed Him, He often would tell a parable, a story.
Here is what the kingdom of heaven will be like.
These parables used everyday situations to help people think and understand God's truth for themselves. One day in Jerusalem, Jesus wanted to share a story with His followers. If He told that same story today, it might sound something like this. There once was a man who created the world's most amazing energy bar.
Just one bite and I feel like I could leap tall buildings in a single bound. What is even in these?
If I told you, I'd have to leave you stranded on top of Mount Everest.
The man did such a good job of selling the energy bars, he soon became wealthy. Then one day, he got on a Zoom call with 3 of his top employees.
Zane, Ren, Murray.
Yes, sir.
Right here.
Murray,
Says he's here.
I don't hear him.
start your audio, Murray.
Oh, hey, just, I was finishing a movie.
I've called you together for an important purpose. I'm going offline.
You're what?
Completely screen-free. I'm going to travel the world for a while. Hike Everest, cross the Sahara, dive down to the Mariana Trench, miles beneath the ocean, all fueled by my energy bar, of course.
Dude, that is far out.
Literally.
The rich man had carefully studied his employees and knew what they can handle.
While I'm gone, I'm leaving you in charge of my money. Zane, I'm sending you an encrypted key to access my gold account with 5,000 credits.
Oh, excellent.
Ren, here's an encrypted key to access my silver account with 2,000 credits.
I'm on it.
Murray, check your inbox for an encrypted key to my bronze account with 1,000 credits.
That's it.
That's it. I'm going off the grid.
Immediately, Zane accessed the money from the gold account and put that money to work. He hired scientists and designers to create a suction shoe that would keep a rock climber from falling.
I call it the fly shoe.
The fly shoe sold as nearly as fast as the energy bar. Zane soon made his money back, and more. Ren, meanwhile, made excellent use of the money in the silver account.
What does every adventurer need besides fuel and shoes? A friend.
So Ren invented a robotic hamster that could travel anywhere an explorer can go, from the highest of mountains to the deepest ocean trench. Soon, robotic adventure hamsters sold as fast as toilet papers. So that left only Murray, who sat looking at the bronze account on his computer screen.
Only 1,000? It's like he expects me to mess it up. Well, I'll show him. Ha!
So Murray took the money out in coins and stashed them in a giant bag. Then late one night, dug a hole in his backyard, stashed the bag inside, and covered it right back up.
Great. Now all I have to do is go back inside and watch Netflix.
After a very long time, the rich man returned from the wilds.
Ah, electricity, internet. I have returned to the grid. Please accept my meeting invite.
Zane and Ren hopped on the call immediately. Murray took a little longer.
Start your audio, Murray.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I'm excited to see how you've handled my money. Zane?
Through sales of the fly shoe, I've added 5,000 more credits to your gold account.
Well done, good and faithful employee. You've been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share my happiness. Now, Ren.
My adorable traveling robotic hamsters have earned 2,000 more credits for your silver account.
Well done, good and faithful employee. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share my happiness. So, Murray.
Yeah, hold on.
Murray reached down and held up a muddy sack. He spilled the coins across the desk.
How much is that?
1,000 credits.
That's what I gave you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I knew you're a tough businessman. You make money even where you haven't worked for it. I didn't want you getting mad, so I just buried the money. See? It's all safe.
Murray offered a weak smile, but instead of smiling back, the rich man went red in the face.
You lazy man. If you knew I can make money even when I haven't worked for it, you should have at least kept my money in the bank where it would have earned a little bit.
Sure.
The rich man turned to his personal assistant and ordered,
Take Murray's credits and give them to Zane, who already has 10,000 credits. Oh, and take Murray off my payroll immediately.
The message of Jesus' story was clear. If you are responsible for what you were given, you'll be given more. If you wasted it, you end up with nothing.
Okay, now we're going to try to feed the ducks here.
I'm going to try to lure them in.
Oh, there, look at the little baby duck. See the baby? Wait, what?
All right, now it's time for our giveaway.
That's right. This week, text Love God to 512-710-23 for your chance to win a trip to Snow Cones with your family. Okay, guys, now it's time to do our memory verse together. What we're going to do is John's going to say the memory verse and you guys repeat it with me.
All right, here we go. Whoever can be trusted with very little
Whoever can be trusted with very little
can also be trusted with much.
can also be trusted with much.
Luke 16:10.
Luke 16:10.
All right, now see if you can learn it and say it sometime this week.
Hey guys, thanks for being with us this week for our family experience. We really enjoyed it here at the Veterans Park by the Leander Library.
Don't forget to look to Jesus to help you see your glass half full so you can make the most with what you have. Let me go ahead and say a prayer for us. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for helping us see the blessings that you give us in our life and help us use that to those in the lives around us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right,
bye. See you
bye.
next week. We really enjoyed it here at the Veterans Park by the Leander Library.
Don't forget to look to Jesus to help you see your glass half full so you can make the most with what you have. Let me go ahead and say a prayer for us.